G'day guys, it's Ryan here. I'm here with Stephen Evans.
Hey guys.
And welcome to the third Macrocosm podcast. Woohoo! Today we're going to review and talk about the Transformers movie. And after that we're going to discuss Pendulum's album, 𝗓𝗎sion. But first, the Transformers movie. So let's get into it with a little movie review. Do you want me to do that, Stephen?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, quick little brief description. An ancient struggle between two Cybertronian races, the heroic Autobots and the evil Decepticons, come to Earth with a clue to the ultimate power held by a bloody teenager of all things. Awesome. All right, so because I mean we've got to have a plot somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, that's right.
So we got Shia LaBeouf as Sam Witwicky. And Megan Fox is playing Michaela, which is that his partner in crime.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start up with any opening. Tongue twister there. Any opening notes there, Stephen?
My notes just sort of go straight into it. Do you have anything that you noticed straight away?
I like the introduction when it opens up. It's just Optimus Prime explaining things.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice short introduction to like why we're watching the movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like a quick little general. This is what the movie's about.
Mm-hmm. Nice. If you're unfamiliar.
Yeah. I didn't realize, but this movie is directly connected to there was a 1980-something animated movie.
Okay.
Some of the character designs and stuff come from that straight into this is kind of like after that sort of.
Yeah, I know this is a Hasbro. This used to be a bloody cartoon. Yeah. There used to be heaps of different things of it. So I'm sure that's probably the original one.
I saw in the IMDb somewhere that the voice of Optimus Prime is the same person who did the voice in the old one. Cartoon one.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty. That's cool. A little tip of the hat to them.
Yeah. And so then what is Optimus? What's the gist of it? He says it's pretty much what you read out, wasn't it? That was what Optimus said.
Essentially, essentially.
Not quite, but yeah. Minus the teenage boy
in
part.
much more nicer words, and coming from a voice of his.
It shows up with the title Transformers.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Middle East, Qatar, isn't it?
Yeah. In another bloody military operation.
Yeah, they're in a helicopter. I think they're heading back to base. It's quite funny because I found it really funny with the guy. I think his name is Fig.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, George Fig. And he was talking Spanish. And then Captain Lennox is like, English, how many times have to tell you we don't speak Spanish? And then he continues like rambling in Spanish. He's like, oh, whatever, go with the Spanish then. I thought that was
I could imagine I could imagine if that's like your native tongue and you're like doing something out of like a reaction, maybe he's praying, maybe he's like scared. So he's like, yeah, that is quite funny. So then we see them escorting a bloody, is it a chopper?
That's, just before, literally just before that, I've got an important note is when they land, he gets out and he says, there's a boy there. I think he's selling DVDs or something. That boy comes back a bit later.
Yeah.
Then they, like you said, they cut to the unidentified helicopter coming in.
Yeah, that's not replying. And they're kind of guiding him in.
Yeah, he's like replying or, we're going to have to escort you or whatever. So turns out that helicopter was shot down the week before. That tail number on that.
Yeah, they find out just by the name on it. Yeah, exactly, with the paint.
Yeah, and then that's all happening. Whilst that's happening, we cut to Captain Lennox is on a Skype call with his wife and child.
Mm-hmm.
And then the helicopter lands, the radar and the Skype, everything just cuts out, which is a nice touch. I like that. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, then the transforms into a bloody thing.
Transformer.
Destroys fucking everything. Yeah.
I like that. A fucking thing.
It transforms into a transformer. The helicopter does, and just wreaks chaos, just destroys everything.
Yeah. No, definitely. And that's when you hear that bloody iconic transformation sound that they use. I love it. Yeah, bloody oath. Love it.
And then, during that destroying of the base, the Transformer grabs the military server and is trying to like download all the information or whatever. But before, they don't really show if they get the information they want or not, but they cut the hard lines to the server.
Just in time.
Before it gets what it was looking for.
Yes.
There is a scene there where they shoot it with the grenade launcher and it sort of kind of hurts it. Not really, but it sort of stumbles back and the Transformer's a bit like, I don't know, dazed and confused, or not really confused.
Like it just maybe stunned or what, I don't know. He got affected by it at least.
So then obviously that's the end of the scene. But it's implied that Lennox and his team got away with the boy because they were, But, while that happens though, the Transformer, he has a second one on his back and it jumps off. The scorpion one.
Oh, the sand one. Yeah.
It jumps off his back. It buries, looks like a scorpion, buries under the sand. And then it cuts to, that's the end of that first section there.
Yeah, because that's the one where they end up getting the tail of it, isn't it?
Yes, later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that far later on.
Yeah, not really. That's pretty just after the next.
We've gotten into 2 minutes of the movie, Stephen.
I know, right? So then we cut to the first time we see Sam.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
There's a few things in this scene that I've written down that's quite, I thought was quite funny. But anyway, so he's at school, he's doing a report in front of the class. And
he's bloody trying to flog his stuff off.
So he's talking about his history, like family history report. So he's talking about his great-great-grandfather, Archibald 𝗖𝗖𝗄𝗃.
Who happens to come back into this.
Yeah, who led an expedition to the Arctic Circle. He had a saying that he said, and it's said throughout the movie, no sacrifice, no victory. And that comes up a lot. That comes up a lot in the movie.
Yep. So that's like one of the closing bloody statements of Sam.
Yeah, so while he's doing his report, he's trying to like sell his great-grandfather's shit, like his glasses and his sextant and all this shit.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
And his teacher's having none of it. Isn't it weird how even in a movie about bloody robots, AI, machines battling, blah, 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 there's still a prophecy?
Yeah, that's right.
I find that strange that even there's still like it doesn't make sense. I find that strange. It shouldn't be his great-grandfather. That's the one thing I don't know. I feel like that's a bit, it doesn't need to be connected in that way. That he could be anyone's son, anyone's grandson.
You're right.
The fact that they put it like that is like, ooh, and God helped out. It's like fucking, I don't know about that. That's just a little thing I noticed, but yeah. No, I just, it's about robots and AI machines, and there's a prophecy.
That's not really, I mean, but the next like 2 or 3 Transformer movies still are like prophecy ones too.
Yeah.
When I was watching this time,
the ancient tablets, blah, blah, blah.
I actually forgot what happened in this movie because I was mixing up the first 3. So I was remembering bits and pieces from each of the 3.
You kind of put them all together, yeah. I get that.
I was thinking to myself towards the end, I'm like, can I actually remember how this ends? Because I kept thinking of the giant pyramid and the other movies, and it was like, confusing me. So while he's trying to sell his great-grandfather's things, he explains that he's going towards his car fund because he wants to get a car.
Yep.
And the grandfather ends up going blind and drawing symbols and stuff, they said.
Saying he's kind of going crazy or something.
So the bell rings, the teacher's like, you got to get a B. And it's like, I need 3 A's. I just need 1 more A. Then my dad will let me get a car.
Yeah.
Oh, this is funny. So his dad's taking him to get the car, right? And he tricks him. He pulls into the Porsche dealership.
Yeah, the Porsche dealership. Yep. No, like, Dad. Oh, my God. Oh, this is awesome.
He's like, yeah, you're right. Not happening.
Yeah, no. You can't be serious. You're right. I'm not.
So they go to the shitty car yard.
Yeah, the crappy one.
Yeah, and so just before, as they pull in, you see the yellow Camaro go past just as they pull into the dealership.
Yeah, he just showed up, and they kind of reference that because he, the dealership guy, the dude trying to sell it, he asks the mechanic, he's like, when did this yellow one come in? Because they hadn't even seen it.
So Sam's, this is another time they say that thing again. Sam's upset about doing it the shitty car places. Dad's like, no sacrifice, no victory.
Yeah. And it's your first car. It shouldn't be good. It should be a shitbox
right.
that if you lose it, it doesn't matter.
So while Sam is talking to Bobby, the car salesman, the yellow car pulls into the dealership and parks in like with the other cars.
Yeah.
So that happens there. And then so he's showing Sam around the car yard, and Sam looks at the yellow one. It's like, and then the guy's like, oh, what's this car? Where did this come from?
Yep.
And then
he calls it like a shitbox or something. What does he call it? He's like, no, I don't like, and he's like dissing it.
Yellow, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Sam's like, it's got racing stripes and all that. And so the guy's confused. And it's like, so how much? And the guy's like, oh, well, considering the classic nature and the rims and the custom paint job. And Sam's like, but the paint's faded. Bobby's like, yeah, but it's custom. And Sam's like, no, what custom's faded? That's really funny. And then, so then this is really cool though. He's like, oh, 5,000. Dad's like, oh, I'm not paying any more than 4. And then the yellow car's like car alarm goes off, smashes all the windows in the area.
So that's the only one. If Bumblebee forces him.
Okay, yeah, 4,000.
Yeah, that's Bumblebee like choosing Sam kind of thing.
That's probably not even enough to pay for all the windows. 4,000.
No.
That's just a car window cost.
On the lot.
Yeah.
All the cars on the lot. Yeah, no fucking way.
He's got to fix them all there.
Yeah, but that's not their fault. So he's just begging for any kind of money. He's going to need it.
So obviously Sam gets the car. It's quite implied. Then we go to Washington, talking about the attack. They've got a team of analysts to analyze the frequency that hacked them.
Yep.
And that's when they show the young team. I think her name was Kate. Was it Kate?
No, I'm not sure. I didn't write it down.
She's an Australian actor.
Or at least you try to sound it.
Yeah. So then that happens. We cut back from that. They really like to set up jokes, to set up funny things. So
they're just they're making you, like giving you Easter eggs.
Yeah, they reference things that later on, those things that make it funny. So there's another bit just after that. His dad's working in the garden. He's like, oh, I don't like footprints on my grass. That's why I built my path. Take your feet off my grass onto my path. I thought that was funny. And so he's like, Sam goes out. He's like, be back by 11. So then it cuts to, we see Lennox has survived, being followed by the Scorpion. Lennox asks the boy if there's a phone in town. So then we go to where Sam meets Michaela. They go to a party. There's a really funny bit here because he's talking to the boyfriend's like, oh, nice car. So he's like, didn't you try for the football team? It sounds like, no, I was just researching about a book I was writing.
Yeah.
About the connection between football and brain damage. He's like, you'll love it. It's got pop-up pictures.
Being a smart ass.
I thought that was so funny. Yeah, I like that sort of humor. It's good.
He's like being smart ass to like a dumb dude, you know, like he's trying he's like being just, you know, outsmarting him literally with wit, and the dumb guy, his only response is to get angry and physical.
Yeah. So then Michaela stops the fight. He doesn't want to be with the jock dude, so she walks off.
Then doesn't Sam give her a ride home?
Yeah, so this is something interesting they do with the music a lot, is they play songs over the car's radio. So they're playing that song, Who's Gonna Take You Home? And she's walking down the street. And so Sam's like, Sam's friend's like, what's wrong with your radio?
That's Bumblebee talking though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Sam picks her up.
I like how even Bumblebee's trying to help Sam get laid.
Yeah.
Like, how does this AI, how does he, I guess they've searched Google. They know what sex is and like how animals work. So I'm guessing they understand. Because later on, even one of the other Transformers, they're looking down at Sam and it's like, it by his hormone levels, it appears that this one wants to mate with her.
So Sam drops her off. And they say something here that Sam does it's like it's like a Transformers catchphrase almost. And so Michaela's like to Sam, you think I'm shallow, don't you? And Sam's like, no, I think there's more than meets the eye with you. That's like the Transformers.
More than meets the eye. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Transformers like catchphrase, isn't it?
I don't know how much they do in the movie, but definitely that's there.
That's like in the song from the cartoon. Did you ever watch the cartoons? Probably not.
Nah, not at all. I just love this because this was like one of those big epic movies that came out that everyone almost went and saw. But yeah.
So this is where we meet that little, I don't know what that robot's called, that little one, the hacking.
Yeah, the little hacker
dude.
robot.
Yeah, because they cut to Air Force One, the presidential plane, and it's like a transformer, and it turns into a radio or like a CD player.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good disguise.
And he gets his way on.
So yeah,
well, nowadays it'd be just a bloody smartphone. That'd be the ultimate.
True. So the president's assistant goes downstairs and she notices the radio, takes it with her. Obviously downstairs where all the computers and stuff are, I guess.
Which I think that's a bit retarded. That's another thing. I'm like, okay, so the stewardess has access to the servers of Air Force One. Yeah. Okay. Retarded.
Yeah, I don't think she would have been going down the cargo, but anyway. Yeah,
to move the plot along.
Yeah, so then this is when the robot, the little one, he hacks into it and he actually gets information this time.
They get it out.
He gets the name Archibald Whitwick.
I was going to say of the granddad.
Of the granddad.
The grandfather. That little hacker robot looked pretty cool. I liked how like when it's walking, it can go like invisible.
Yeah, because it just turns sideways or whatever, and it's like really thin.
It's like that thin, yeah.
Yeah, so they have a fight, robot escapes. That fight's pretty cool. Like, he throws like, what are they, like little discs, like metal
like
discs
ninja
or something.
Stars.
Like ninja stars and spikes people. So again, this is something you could do like R-rated, like you said, and have just blood and that thing just going straight through him. And
instead they chose to electrocute and put to sleep. Pat us on the head, give us our dummies, and don't show blood. Exactly.
So the robot gets back to the cop. There's a cop car, which we assume is a transformer. They don't show it transforming, but
not just yet.
The cop car uses a computer and then finds Sam's eBay page, Ladies Man 217.
Yeah.
And sees the glasses. So that's our first hint that they're after these glasses. We don't know why.
And that he is actually important. So when is Sam getting chased by the stolen, in quotes, stolen car? That's surely coming up.
That's shortly. So at this point now, it cuts back to Sam asleep, and the car, he thinks someone's stolen it because it gets driven off. I mean, we can see there's no one driving.
He can't see that though. Maybe.
So he follows it all the way to a junkyard, and then that's where he sees it standing up, shining a light into the sky. Sam gets his phone
beacon
out.
Yeah, the bloody Bumblebee actually, because that's obviously the sign that, you know, the rest of them are coming. The rest of the Autobots.
It's a signal. So he's like, it's recording. He's like, oh, my car's alive. He gets chased by cops. He ends up getting arrested because the cops come. Because he called them on the way there. The cops grab him. I think he's on drugs or something, so they arrest him and take him. And then, this movie cuts back and forth a lot. And then we cut back to the Pentagon again.
This movie jumps around.
So then, back at the Pentagon, they found out that the robot planted a virus when it took the information.
Yep.
And it's like a virus that never seen before. It's like super duper. Then we cut back.
Out of this world.
They do a bit of stuff there. Then it cuts back to Sam. Sam's now at a detective station or a cop station. This is really funny, this bit. I thought it was really funny anyway. There's a detective there, and the detective's a bit weird. And the guy's like, so he's looking at the video that Sam recorded, and he's like, so what, you can't just stood up? He's like, what drugs are you on? What are you? And then he finds the pain medicine for his dog, and his dog's called Mojo. So, is that what the kids are on nowadays? Mojo. And the detective's like, stares back a bit, flashes his gun at Sam. He's like, what, you looking at my gun? What are you looking at my gun for? Do you want to fight? You want trouble? What are you? And then Sam leans over to him and whispers, he's like, are you on drugs? Just
throwing it back at him.
Throwing it back at him. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So back with the Lennox team, Captain Lennox, Scorpion attacks. They run to the village to get the phone. Did you like this bit? I thought this was quite funny with the phone. Do you remember that?
Where what?
So the Scorpion attacks them, right? And so they run down to the village to get the mobile phone. So he gets the phone off the father of the boy and he calls the Pentagon. But he can't call them because there's no credit on the phone. So they end up talking to this Indian sales guy on the phone.
That's right. Yep.
And he's like, no, I don't have a credit card. And then the guy on the phone's like, sir, this attitude is not going to speed things up at all. So then Lennox runs over to Epps, gets a credit card, reads the numbers. And then the guy's like, sir, have you heard about our premium package? It's like, God damn it, just put me on the fucking phone.
Dude, I've been, while trying to talk to customer service, I've been told that, like, something like that. And I've had one time where they hung up on me and I called them straight back and I'm like, I'm not talking to anyone. I want to talk to your supervisor. Talk to the supervisor. And I'm like, hey, I don't fucking care what fucking words I cunting use, you piece of prick. Right? I just started using any word I could throw in there, right? The content does not matter. It's what I'm trying to say to you. I can say it with whatever words I choose to use. I'm not coming there and punching you in the face. So there's no violence there. You know what I mean? Like there's no threat. I can get angry. It's just because I'm emotional about a thing that's affecting me on that day and it's not affecting you. It shouldn't be like that. So that bloody Indian bloke, oh man, that would piss me off if he's like, that attitude's not going to help you. I'm like, oh mate, don't you fucking start.
Don't say that. Yeah, some people are a bit sensitive, I think.
Oh, they're fucking words are words. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So what did you like, why did he hang up on you though? Like what was the initial?
No, I can't. No. It was because but it was something to do with Telstra. My old housemate, me and him were on the plan. I called up because I moved out and I was trying to get my details removed off the plan because I'm no longer attached to it or whatever. Yeah. They did that, except they left my phone number on there. So I tried to call back up, but because I'm no longer a part or a what do they call that? A gap. I'm no longer in charge of that account. I couldn't get my own phone number taken off, and I was like, "This is my private property. You do not have the right to." And I was fuming. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like
angry and
but that doesn't matter. As long as they're typing away and getting shit done, I could be screaming on the end of the line. That doesn't matter. That's got nothing to do with I'm emotional because it's affecting me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So they finally get through the phone. They call the Pentagon. They're like, we need an airstrike. So this is sort of important here. So they first fire at the Scorpion thing, but it doesn't do anything. So then they switch to a heavier round. They use, they called it 105 shells or whatever. So they start using heavier bullets. And then finally they damage it. Scorpion buries into the ground because it's like hurt and his tail falls off.
Yeah, and then they cut the tail.
Yeah, that's when that happened. Then they cut, this is another important bit. They cut back to the Pentagon. Kate, the hacker girl, she's like, there's only one hacker in the world that can break the code.
Yeah, and it's that funny black dude.
I'm like, what are the chances that the one person in the world that can break the code she's friends with?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What are the chances of that? She takes a copy of the signal, which she's not meant to do, and takes it to him.
Yeah.
And also
the house.
She's not only friends with him, he's not far away either. He's nearby.
Just happens to be around the corner.
Yeah, like what? Oh, or maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe she gets a plane and flies. I don't know.
We didn't see that.
I thought that was weird. So this is where we meet her friend, Glenn, I believe his name is.
Yep.
So she goes to his place and she's like, do you want to see something classified? And then at that time, they cut back to the Pentagon and they know that she's made a copy. They know that someone made a copy. And it's back to Glenn. They find in there some words. They find Project Iceman, Sector 7, and Captain 𝗧𝗿𝗍𝗀𝗀𝗍, Archibald 𝗧𝗧𝗍𝗍𝗍.
They get some info out of it.
And the feds break in and arrest them because they were onto him. So they got arrested.
Yeah, they would have been onto like straight away.
Yeah. And then, so now this is when you said earlier, this is when the car comes back to Sam. And so Sam calls up his friend. He's like, my car stole itself last night and now it's back. And he's like, Satan's Camaro, it's stalking me. I thought that was funny. So he jumps on his mum's bike and he starts to run away.
Yeah, and the car starts chasing him.
Car starts chasing him.
The guy who stole the car.
Yeah.
No, it's, well, he now knows that it's a weird creature.
Yeah. And then we also see the cop car following them too. The cop car is now onto him.
In pursuit.
Yeah, in pursuit. Of course, it's a nice looking car.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of cop would have a car like that, though? Is that really accurate? Would any cops have a car like that?
Definitely. Absolutely. I guarantee you, if you look up some highway patrol vehicle, yeah, well, that's where this movie is based, I'm guessing, because America. Yeah, I guarantee you there'd be highway patrol that have souped up cars, and it's just, I bet you there is.
Now, you don't really notice it, but I saw somewhere I read that on the cop car, it's supposed to say for a real police car, protect and serve, but on his car, because there's a Decepticon, it says something else like destroy and something bad. So they actually
destroy and dismember.
Yeah, something like that. And I thought that's interesting. They put little secrets in there.
Yeah, little tidbits.
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, I think that's interesting.
Yeah. So then we get, what do we get, buddy? When do we get Bumblebee stopping the cop car from killing?
Yeah, that's
Sam?
pretty soon because the cop car transforms. It threatens Sam. It's like, give me the glasses. I need the glasses. And then this is when, at some stage, Michaela gets involved.
Yeah.
And so they're together now with this giant robot after them. And that's when Bumblebee pulls up and they jump in the car with him.
Wait. Just quickly, there's an awesome quote right there where Michaela won't get in the car.
Oh, yeah.
And Sam says something that I thought was pretty killer. It was, in 50 years, when you look back, don't you want to be able to say that you had the guts to get in the car?
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cool because that's essentially, you know what, what did they say before? God damn it, no progress without sacrifice or something along those lines.
No sacrifice, no victory.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you know, it's all about like, you got to have the guts. It's still going along those lines. It's like, come on, you've just got to just get through it. It's all right. You'll get there. Yeah. Pull it up, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, they get in the car and Bumblebee. This is funny here. The car is like screaming. She's like, oh, we're going to die. And then Sam's like, no, we're not. No, we're not. And then the next second later, next minute.
Then he's like, we're going to die. That's when he does it.
Yeah, that's
he returns it.
That cracked me up so much. So they sort of get away, and then they end up, and then the cop car finds them. Bumblebee, he kicks them out of the car, and then the big giant robot battle. And that's the first proper robot fight, isn't it, really? It's a pretty quick fight, though. So while this is happening, the little robot is chasing Sam and Michaela. They end up cutting its head off, and they kick it, they kick the head across.
But how did that little robot it destroyed Air Force One, right?
Yeah.
But now two punk-ass little fucking kids
can stop it, yeah.
Like, that's so inconsistent.
Like, you got a trained bloody FBI agents that can't kill it with a gun.
With guns, exactly.
Yeah, and you've got these two kids that cut its head off with a hacksaw thing.
Yeah.
Electric hacksaw. But so he kicks the head and it ends up right next to Michaela's bag, of course.
Yeah.
Because why not? Then the fight with the robots ends, and that's when Bumblebee starts talking through the radio.
Yeah.
That's then. And Sam's like, oh, I think it wants something from me. He doesn't know what yet. Sam just thinks it wants something from his eBay page. He doesn't know it's the glasses.
No.
Bumblebee explains the signal and that he's an alien and all this. And just then, while they get back in the car, there's just the small robot,
the head.
He picks up Michaela's phone and turns into the phone.
Yes, yeah.
And then he gets in the bag and chucks the phone away. So he's in Michaela's bag now.
Don't they got a spy?
Yeah, Michaela picks up the bag and then that all. I mean, I think. This is where we meet. Yeah, this is where the meteors start.
I was just about to say
sky.
that's where everyone comes. That's where they finally arrive. The brothers, our boys.
Yeah, so they meet in some alleyway with all the Transformers. I don't know their names. What do we got?
No, not even.
Jazz Ratchet, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee Prime. I know, and Optimus Prime.
Ironhide.
That sounds familiar. Don't know it.
Ironhide's the one that likes his guns. He's the one that wants to kill everyone.
Yeah, he's the one that says you have a rodent infestation.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, this is a chihuahua. We love chihuahuas.
So this is again another explanation. Optimus explains what
the 𝗬𝗧𝗏 is.
The 𝗬𝗧𝗏 is a cube of energy that created them all. Like, I guess it's like God to them, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. It's their creator. It's the reason why they exist, yeah.
And then this is when we find out that Megatron, the big baddie Megatron, is after the cube. And Megatron had gone looking for the cube on Earth, and he crash landed in the ice in the Arctic, where Sam's great-great-grandfather was.
Woke him up.
Yeah, and so his great-great-grandfather falls through the ice, activates Megatron's navigation system, which then imprints the location on his glasses.
Yeah, so that's why the glasses are important.
Yeah, and we know why the glasses are important. And they say if Megatron gets the cube, he's going to turn all the technology on Earth into Decepticons, essentially, and take over the world. I don't know what happens to the humans. I guess they just get killed.
I was going to say they're the waste.
Yeah, they're just all the hands to help build shit. So,
well, I mean, look at our history. You want something massive done, you throw slavery at it, and it'll get done eventually.
Like the pyramids.
Pyramids, fuck it. Dude, there's more than that. There's heaps of different ancient bloody buildings.
I don't know if that was slave labor, but that was a thing. Yeah,
everyone on Earth has ancestors that were slaves. Like, that's just...
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's the way it is.
So this is when they're in the airplane, the military, Captain Lennox, and they have the scorpion tail. And they're looking at it, they're investigating it, and that's when they discover that they can only damage it with a high heat round, like a incendiary bullet or whatever.
Yeah, incendiary. Yeah, yep.
High heat saber rounds, they called them. Yeah, and then we cut this is funny. We cut to the hacker and Kate and Glenn in the FBI.
Yeah, they've been captured. And he's like, see, I've eaten all the donuts. They think you're going to be scared if you don't have them. and then like the guy, like, all he does is he puts his freaking paper, his folder of papers down, and he's just like screaming. He's like, it was her. I didn't do nothing wrong. She came and saw me.
And he's like, oh, sugar rush.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kate tells them what she knows, and then we it's back to this is right.
Don't the agents capture Sam and?
Yeah, this is sort of that. Yeah, so the robots and Sam, they go to Sam's house so Sam can find the glasses, and this is when you get the bit about the dog piece
rodent
infect.
Yeah, the rodent infect. Yep.
And also they destroy all the grass. That's a funny bit from before, because his dad mentioned, don't walk on my grass.
Yeah, he mentioned it earlier, and then he's like, don't step on it. Oh, you stepped on the fountain.
Broke the fountain and the grass, everything. And then, so they go looking, can't find the glasses. Then they're in Sam's room and the mum walks in.
They have that awkward conversation, and then she rears her head.
She's like, why are you so sweaty? What have you been doing? She's like, were you masturbating?
And then even the dad was like, just leave it alone. Yeah. Just stop. Like to the wife, just shut up.
And she's like, we don't have to call it that. We can call it Sam's happy time.
No, it's not about calling it anything, woman. It's about just saying a single thing about it. You don't need to refer to that existing, all right? You just need to shut up. Yeah. God, I couldn't imagine it, man.
That'd be so...
the way my favorite, the best way I think to deal with it, right? My mate's mum found out that he had a girlfriend around the age of 16, so whatever it was, and. Or was it 15? Whatever. Anyway, like one of the first girlfriends, you're coming of age, and his mum walks into the lounge room, throws a packet of condoms at him, and walks out. Right? That is all is needed. All right, no words.
Perfect. I love it.
There is
That's awesome.
we've got the internet. We know what goes where. Just shush.
Just make sure you use this.
Oh, fuck,
That's
man.
it. No words. Perfect. That's perfect. I love it.
I had the fucking opposite, which is the worst, man. My girlfriend's parents found out, therefore they called my parents, and my parents sat down with me and like, you gotta be careful. And meanwhile, I'm just like, I would eat a bullet right now. This is the moment. I would eat a bullet. So just give me a fucking bullet and I'll put it in my fucking skull. Jesus Christ. Stop this.
That's funny.
Awkward.
Yeah, that's funny. It's like we have sex education at school. Like, we're not stupid. We are taught this stuff.
And I know that school, you can't trust school to know what you would, want them to know, because they're just teaching you the bare minimum. Condoms, STIs, blah, blah, blah. But your parents are the ones who are meant to teach you like how to find someone you want to be with. Like, you know what I mean? Like that I understand the conversation of finding a relationship, but you never need to mention that stuff. Just you're the mum, or the dad. You just leave it alone, please. Could you imagine? It's like, that's always funny when at like, I don't know, Christmas or whatever, family gatherings, and there'd always be the adults would make a joke that, maybe the kids weren't meant to hear, but you're kind of old enough to know about it. And they're like, they kind of look at you and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't want to know that they wear these things or they had edible bloody underwear one time or any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is where, so Ironhide at one point, he says to Optimus, he's like, can't we just kill the parents? Like, just get rid of them. And then
we do not do that.
Yeah. Optimus was like, we don't harm humans. So that's reinforcing the fact that they're good robots.
Yeah.
They're starting to differentiate the good versus bad. So they're just like, they're reinforcing that fact. So this is where the mum says, oh, your backpack's in the kitchen. So now they found the glasses. So they go down, grab that. And that's when Sector 7
bust in.
And and they end up taking Sam and Michaela because they reckon they were directly in contact with robots.
Well, they have this weird sensor thing.
Yeah.
I like in the car while they're traveling. They're bloody. Who was it? One of the other persons said, "What did they get you for?" And Sam's like, "I bought a car. It turned out to be an alien robot. Who knew?"
Yeah, that's later on. Yeah.
Oh, is that later on? Oh.
Yeah. That's So then...
Oh, no, that's right. That's the hacker chick. They're in the helicopter. No, you're right.
Yeah. Because now they're in the car with the Sector 7 getting taken away.
Yeah, with that bloody...
And they're questioning Sam, like, well, you got this phone recording. What are you talking about? And all this stuff. And then Optimus picks up the car.
Yeah.
Tears the roof off, whatever, and gets him out.
I like how they, obviously they save Sam and that they stop them from being captured by the S7, and then Michaela gets him to strip down, and we need the clothes, and then he's got a bloody S7 like painted like Spider-Man on his singlet.
Superman.
like every morning he like brushes his teeth. And he's like, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to save the world. Such a tryhard, that guy. What's that character's name? Do you know it?
Simmons, Detective
Simmons.
Not Detective Simmons. Agent Simmons.
Agent Simmons. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So then so they're still sort of what happens, because at this point somehow Bumblebee gets taken.
Dude, did you see how they captured him as well? They bloody captured him with fucking fire extinguishers. That was it.
That was no. Well, first of all, they harpooned him with like...
No, I know, but like, did you see the actual what it looked like? Like, watching the scene, it was literally them holding CO2 fire extinguishers. That's hysterical. It's like, it gets the job done because it looks like they're trying to, freeze him up because it's a mechanical object.
Yeah.
But
it's supposed to be liquid nitrogen, I think. They don't say, but I assumed.
You would assume,
Yeah. So somehow, they get Bumblebee, but they still get Sam as well. And then Optimus and the other ones get away. So they've got Sam, Michaela, and Bumblebee. And then Optimus has the glasses. Somehow Sam must have dropped them. So then Optimus has the glasses. And then that's the end of that scene. Then we cut to, this is the climactic bit. This is like the whole, so Sector 7 approach the Secretary of Defense. and start explaining stuff to him, like about that they already knew that there were aliens because the Mars rover found something and didn't fail and all that stuff, top secret aliens bullshit. And at this point, the virus from before shuts down everyone, all the systems. So now the military can't talk to each other. That's all shut down. And they have to
wait, right there where he says that everything shuts down. You know, they're looking around. I hope this is there. God, I hope I'm not jumping the gun here. No, I think where it all shuts down and is that the president? No, maybe he's not. But anyway, the old dude with the white hair.
Boss.
And yes, thank you. And he's like, we've got to blah blah blah. We've got to do this. We've got to find an old thing. And then the old guy, Simmons, Agent Simmons goes, "Oh, we've got an old radio down somewhere." Blah blah blah.
That's later on.
Is that later on?
Yeah. They kind of do it then too. Because the virus shuts everything down, and the Secretary of Defense is like, "Well, we need to communicate, so you need to use the old radio to communicate to everyone." They do that there. That's before, and then the bit you're talking about is later on when the at Megatron, where Megatron's been kept.
Yeah,
because they're not quite yet at Megatron yet. So they do mention that. And then this is where they get everyone. So Sector 7 gets Captain Linux and his team, Kate and Glenn, Sam, Michaela, the Secretary of Defense. They get everyone, and that's when they're all in the helicopter.
Okay, and that's where it's like what did they get you for?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the whole get the team together, because that's how movies work. Have all these separate characters and bring them all together, save the day.
Yeah, then they get there, and then they find out that they kept Megatron near the fucking Allspark. Like, what the actual fucking... What the fuck? They kept them in the same fucking building? What the fuck? I don't care if it's separated by like, what did they say? Like 3 football fields thick of concrete or whatever the fuck. Yeah. I don't give a shit. That's... What the fuck?
Well, that's where the cube landed, but anyway.
Yeah, they built it around that. Yeah. No, but they moved what's-his-face to it.
Yeah, they brought Megatron over. That's right, yeah. While that's happening, they cut to Optimus with the glasses, and he like shines a light or a laser from his eye into the glasses, and it projects like a map of the world. Do you remember that bit? And it's like turning around, and it shows them exactly where the cube is, which turns out to not be far from where they are again.
Because they know, like the humans know, they don't know. Now they know that's where they're taking all of them, kind of thing.
And Optimus says at this point, he's like, we need to destroy the cube, and if all else fails, you need to put the cube in my chest.
Yep.
And he's like, it might kill me, but it'll get rid of it.
Yeah, we get it, Optimus. You're a good guy. Shut the fuck up. Fuck me, man. How many scenes do we need that convincing? You know what I mean?
yeah. But that cube bit is a bit of a twist later on. That's why I mentioned that.
Absolutely, it is. No, I'm not purveying you out. I'm like, like we get it. It's like how much Superman, like how many times do we need Superman to like hold a baby and kiss it on the forehead in front of cameras? It's like, we get it. Okay, we get it.
So they then show us quickly for a second the little robot, that hacker robot, his head anyway, and he falls down the dam. That was quite funny.
Is that the same little robot in like the other movies?
No.
Does he like get the ability to speak?
Unless he changes. I don't know. I didn't think so.
I think that'd be cool. But anyway,
because he gets his whole body back. At the moment, it's just a head, but he gets his whole body back in a minute.
Yeah.
So that's all that. What happens? So then they meet Megatron, explain some crap. And then the small robot, while they're looking at the cube, he touches the cube, and then he gets his whole body back. So they're like showing you what the cube can do, I guess. And also, that's when they do the. At this point, though, the cube is gigantic. It's like absolutely
it's
ginormous.
That massive. It's
massive,
just
like huge,
humongous. You couldn't even possibly. It's humongous to the Transformers.
Yeah, and that's when they show off what the cube can do. So they go in that room with the little box, and there's is it a mobile phone inside there? And they blast it with energy, and it comes alive. That's pretty cool. And it's like, energize a bunny from hell. Because obviously you made Decepticon.
But now is where it all shuts down, though, isn't it? Doesn't it?
It shuts down again, though. This is they lose power to everything because the little robot is wreaking chaos. hacking things, and he turns off the Megatron's got like a cooling chamber, so that's all turned off. And
yeah, so now he can, but yeah, he's gonna come back into.
Yeah, now he's defrosting. And
now is that where he asks?
Yeah, very close. Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
yeah,
because he says to him, he's like, yeah, you needs that old phone or whatever, the ancient phone, and he goes to Agent Simmons, and he says, radio. But he goes, he's like, now will it work? And then Agent Simmons replies like, I don't know. I mean, anything is possible. Did you just see that big zoop, 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 zoop? Like, and he makes a sound. I thought that was hysterical.
Because that's just after Bumblebee, he goes to the cube and he shrinks it down to a little cube.
Oh, yeah,
like a tiny cube. So that's when that happens. Yeah, and then he says that, because they need to contact the Air Force to get back up.
And then...
So this is when they split up. So Simmons and Secretary of Defense and the hackers and that, they go to fix the radio, and then Captain Lennox and Sam, they run away with the cube, don't they? Yeah, pretty sure. And then the small robot attacks them downstairs while they're trying to fix the radio. They eventually get it working, and they get the Air Force, and they kill the small one. Oh, they kill him, don't they? Yeah, because
I honestly don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he gets killed. They kill the hacker robot while they're fixing the thing. So then they get, and then just skip through a bit. What do we got? The Air Force responds. So now Lennox and Sam are in the city.
Where is that? Where Sam is now holding the cube? Is that where we're at?
Yes, because they have a bit of a fight. They have a bit of a fight with Starscream, and Bumblebee loses his legs.
Yeah,
and then Sam's holding the cube, talking to Michaela.
Michaela is hooking Bumblebee up to the tow truck, but I like where Sam's like running, and he's actually running with the cube, and when he trips over, and as the cube hits the ground, like the impact, it like sends out a pulse and turns the car, it turns people's phones, it turns all the bloody robot. It turned them all into little bloody transformers. I thought that was cool.
There was an Xbox as well.
Yeah.
And the car steering wheel.
Yeah,
it grabbed the woman's face, and
I was about to say it like lunged at her like the creature out of Half-Life or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Well, Half-Life, that head crab.
Yeah, the head crab thing. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
actually, right, it does look more like that because there's more legs. Yeah,
and it had like a weird tail thing.
So she hooks up Bumblebee to the tow truck. And there's the tank attacks. They have a fight with the tank.
I feel like we're going to get this all jumbled up anyway. There's a lot of bits and bobs going up.
So Sam goes off to the roof, or he starts to go. He heads towards a building with a roof. That's when he tripped over.
He has to get up to the roof, and he uses the flare, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got a flare to signal the helicopter.
And then the helicopter gets taken down.
Yeah, Starscream.
Because, that's the name. I was like, you just said it before, God damn it.
Starscream was following Sam, and like when Sam was in the building, Starscream was like, I can smell you, and saying all these things like,
you're being a creep, bloody creep.
Creepy buddy. So then Optimus and Megatron, they have a bit of a fight. Optimus appears to be losing. He was losing.
For now.
That happens twice though. They cut to, there's 2 times where they fight and Optimus loses like both times. So Michaela's got Bumblebee tied up on the tow truck, and she's like, I'll drive, you shoot.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that where she decides to return? Because like they were trying to get them to safety because she was like going to drive away.
Yeah.
But then she's like, she like cries and she puts her head down on the steering wheel, and then she turns around and she's like, that's when that's happening.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't really notice that. Yeah, you're right.
And she's like, because they were going away from like going to safety. Now they're coming back into the bloody thick of it. But I like when they pull up and Bumblebee's like fucking shooting like a turret, dun, 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 and they like slide up, and that's where they get into contact with what's the other agent, the army veteran dude,
Captain Lennox.
Lennox, thank you.
About?
Yeah,
Lennox
and they now there's a yes, that's the pair, and because that's right where how does he do it? How does Lennox he's got that bloody gun, and he slides underneath.
Yeah, so he jumps on a motorbike
Oh, motorbike. God, thank you. That
Yeah.
slipped my memory for some reason. Yeah.
And then he goes towards the helicopter one, and then he sort of jumps off the bike and skids along the ground.
Did you see how long he skid for?
Oh, I know, right?
You picked up on that as well? It was like 20 odd meters, man.
In real life, though, they actually had him laying on a sheet of steel, and they had it towed behind the vehicle where I towed it.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually pulling
absolutely.
it. And so those sparks you see, they're actual.
Oh,
they were really there. They're not added after, they were actually.
That's a cool little trick to that's cool. Okay.
And then he slides under and shoots underneath.
Don't you? Sorry, not to cut in, but don't you like those practical effects? Like, where they don't need to put extra shit in, where it's like, oh no, but if you just put him on a sheet, that'll create the sparks for us. Oh, sweet.
I was reading stuff, and they said that most of the money, the budget, was spent on the Transformers CGI. They did not use CGI for anything else. Everything else was practical, except for the actual Transformers, because they needed the budget to make them look good.
They needed to put it all into that, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Because at the time, like this was the most fuck, man, how much CGI is used in this movie? Jesus Christ.
This is probably the first time that CGI became nearly the whole movie, you know?
Yeah, almost the whole movie, exactly.
That's definitely the first time. And then Marvel took it over and did the rest, you know?
Yeah.
With big budgets. So then Sam gets to the roof, signals the helicopter is about to get the cube to the helicopter, and then he pulls it back because the helicopter gets blown up. Did we already mention that?
Yeah, we did. Gets shot down. But I mean, we're going to get this part, this ending battle, you know, all of it's kind of jumping between all of it, you know.
Really close to the end now. So hang on, so we've done the tow truck bit. There you go. And again, Sam's like, no sacrifice, no victory, because they haven't said that enough. So Optimus again says to Sam, put the cube in my chest if I can't beat him. So they have a fight. God, this is where they fight. And you said before, Sam's like underneath their feet and they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
That's like, I noticed that this time because you said it before. Like,
where it's like,
right. That's pretty stupid.
Like he's this tiny little fucking to compare his size to us, he would be like a can of Coke standing next to you, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
And you're not paying, like, you're worrying about this bloody Decepticon with a large ass fucking cannon pointed at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where you start getting pulled out of it.
Yeah.
It's less so with this because, like, these are AIs. They might be analyzing their surroundings completely. Like, I can believe it more in this, but when it comes to something like King Kong or something like that, then I'm like, are you kidding me? That's a wild animal. Yeah.
And also with the Transformers movie, I find they don't take the movie so seriously. So it's not too pulling you out of it because the movie's not all that serious anyway. Like, it's very
it's a silly. Yeah, exactly. It's made for probably, to be honest, made for more young guys generally.
Yeah,
not 100%.
Yeah, the guy gets the girl and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Because I mean, I wouldn't say teenager, but like, you know, even, you know, younger than 30, older than bloody. What's the youngest you would let, like, let's say if you had a child, you'd let them see this movie? Because there's a fair bit in it. Like, you got to think about it. Like, people do die, like explosions, battles. Because if you think about it, it'd have to be like with you, obviously present, and like 8 or 9. Is that too young? What? Yeah,
with an adult, it's probably okay. Without an adult for the first time, I would probably be
fucking 15, mate.
12, 15, yeah.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, 15, you know what I mean.
12, maybe 12. Without an adult.
I think that's a nice, No, I agree with you there. Anyway, sorry, that was a bit
if you have an adult with you, then 8 or 9 is probably okay.
If it's your parent with them, I think, because then you can pause and explain and you can go, hey, guys, look, no, that's what this means. And no, don't be scared. This is that. Or whatever. Yeah.
But I'd probably just wait till if I had a kid till they were 12 or older, depending how mature they are, because each kid's...
Obviously, everyone is individual. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So at this point, this is where Sam is meant to put the cube in Optimus Prime's chest.
Yeah, but instead...
he puts it in Megatron's.
Which is kind of like it was almost too obvious. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost like, duh, of course.
No, but like, I don't mean that in a down way. That sounded bad. I mean, like, I didn't see it coming, but like, duh, of course that's what they were going to do. Like, oh yeah, because like they were hinting at it like, no, I'm going to set like Optimus Prime is like, I'm going to sacrifice, put it into my chest.
Twice they said that, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because if it's going to kill Optimus, why would you do that? Why would you not put it in Megatron and kill Megatron? Like,
for some reason, I thought that maybe it would make him better. Like, I don't know. I thought that, like, why would you run the risk? Maybe it makes him more powerful.
but what if Sam went to put the tube in Megatron's chest, but Megatron grabbed the cube? Maybe that's why he sort of like sacrificed. Because Optimus is willing to let you put it in his chest. So unless you can surprise on Megatron like he did, it wouldn't work, would it, really?
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could hypothesize anything,
can't we? Yeah, exactly.
So then that's the end of that scene. Everybody's happy. And then, well, they're not quite happy because J.A.Z., one of the robots, got killed. I think Megatron tears him in half at some point earlier on. And Optimus is like, I'm in your debt, Sam. And this is where they set up for a second movie because Bumblebee says, I want to stay with the boy.
Okay.
And Bumblebee can talk now too, sort of. It's not very good, but he can talk.
How long does that last? Because that's not in the next ones, is it?
I think the excuse of the next one was his voice box was still faulty.
So they took it out to be able to fix it or something, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway, so there's a fragment of the cube, like a shard, left over. Optimus picks it up.
Yeah.
And then they announce, like on the news report, I think Sector 7's getting shut down immediately.
Yeah.
They dispose of Megatron's body in the Mariana Trench in the ocean.
That I had a problem with. That. Because, like, even though I know there's a second, all right, I know this, but trying to watch it as this is the first time, imagining like I'm putting myself into that situation, how more obvious is that a lead to a second movie?
Oh, yeah.
Like dropping Megatron into the ocean. Why wouldn't the Autobots take him, dismantle him, and you know what I mean? Like, it's their responsibility. Why was it left to the humans? I do not get that.
Exactly.
It's so obviously open-ended. That's what I was like, oh, come on. They could have sewn that shut, but now I know the second one, Megatron, blah, blah, blah. You know, that because doesn't that make sense as well? Like, you would think it would be up to the Autobots to have to dismantle and like, because we're dumb humans. We don't understand this technology.
But like, you've got governments and people that think they know better, even though they're superior beings, you know? Humans are...
Dude,
shit.
I don't give a fuck about the government. If Optimus Prime came to me and told me to break the law, I would be like, yeah, I would, because I think you're way more smarter than our dumb monkey laws. You know, you're fighting for a greater good. These guys are fighting for their job. That's it. You know what I mean?
Because in the second movie, it's essentially all about the government not trusting the Autobots anymore.
That's right. It is, isn't it?
So I kind of get why they do it, but you're right, though. It is weird. And Optimus is like sends out a message to all surviving Autobots to come to Earth because we're waiting. And then so there's a bit after the credits, right? So the parents are being interviewed.
Yes, I wrote this down too.
That was so funny. Do you want to say it?
Yeah. Okay, look, like I just like, I like where the way they're replying to the questions, like, so they're trying to make it like, so no, of course not, but it definitely is. But what they said was something along the lines of, if there were some sort of alien infestation, the government would let you know. I mean, that's how we know we live in a free land, because there's
America,
no secrets. No. But like the way that they just keep saying buzzwords, like they're just trying to like, I mean, and we live in a free land. No, there's no secrets. I mean, the government would let us know. No alien like, you know, the way they said it was hysterical. So funny. And obviously, but did you notice in the backing of that, their backyard is all fixed?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like the government had fixed it for him to like, you know, come on, hush, don't you?
I think that is actually mentioned in the next one. Is like, they paid for all this yard and fixed it all. I think it was actually mentioned.
Okay.
And then,
do you remember what's the closing out song?
Just before.
Oh, is there something?
Really
sorry, yeah, no, go.
Slightly just before that, though, they show a vision of Starscream leaving Earth's atmosphere.
That's
and
that's even more of an open-ended. There's a second,
and then it cuts to Linkin Park.
A band we love. So it was What I've Done. That's right.
That's it. What I've Done. Yeah. That's the end of that. Do you want me to give my overall? You want to do yours first?
Well, mine's short and sharp, so I feel like yours would be a bit more detailed. Okay. You go for it.
So I've got like the camera work goes fine, a little bit shaky at some points, but
I was going to say quite shaky and jumpy.
Yeah,
but
shaky
I think
the cut a lot.
Do you think that's how they mask? Because like just having one still cam looking at a battle would probably be pretty boring. But they're the way they jump around and like all of a sudden now you're looking up at them and then all of a sudden you're looking from a building up above down at the battle. You know, they're trying to keep it intriguing. You're looking at it from multiple perspectives.
So
you know,
I thought overall though they gave a good sense of like the size of the robots. They did a good job making them seem big.
Did you? On that particular note, did you notice that they kept it consistent? Did sometimes they seem bigger than other times? Did you notice any of that?
I didn't stand out to me. I thought it was pretty consistent. Did it stand out to you?
There was only one moment that really changed my perspective because I think it was when Megatron was standing between two buildings and I'm like, but hang on, I thought he was like bigger than that. Yeah, like there was but that could have just been the way it was shot. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way they imaged it and I just picked it up on then. But what I was more going to say was that I didn't notice anything horrible, like where sometimes they look like they're this big and other times they look like they're super massive.
So it wasn't super obvious, just one bit stood out.
Just one little bit, but No, I thought that was quite good. They did that very well. Unlike Godzilla, where I noticed in one of the new ones, I noticed it was like 1 second he's like the size of 2 school buses. The next time he's the size of 40. And you're like,
and I've also heard it said, I don't know if it was like a Reddit or if I watched a review or something, but oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say there. Fuck. What were we just talking about? What did you just say? We're talking about the size of the robots.
Yeah, size comparison and changing.
I remember. So I saw, I either watched or read somewhere that to make things look bigger, it helps to shoot the camera angle from a human's perspective. So like a human's height off the ground. Not have like an overview helicopter shot or it's okay sometimes. Like with a helicopter, but
maybe watch the same YouTube video, but I remember it's along those lines of making sure that it's from a person's possible perspective. So if it's from a building, make them look out a window. Don't just make it up in the air, look floating, like, you know, exactly. Yeah.
Like you need to be some sort of God mode camera, you know?
Yeah, which takes you out of it a bit.
So that was that I was wanting to say. And so now the color grading, right? It was always a perfect summer yellow sunset all the time. Perfect sunset all the time. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that. No.
The color, it's always got a yellow tinge, like it's a perfect summer afternoon all the time.
Like no matter what, even in a dark moment, like the reflection off of the robot, like did you notice moments like that or are you just saying like in the daytime it was always bloody perfect?
Shots, because there were a couple of night times, like when they met in the alleyway, that was nighttime, wasn't it? Yeah.
I also just on that, I got a bit of a sploof that they've got left in there. Where during battle scenes, they will use a couple shots from daytime and they put it in the nighttime battle scene and you barely notice it. They've done that a few times in it. Now, if you go to IMDb, they list like there's like 3 or 4 of them and they tell you the exact minute to go to. But I was like, there's a couple scenes like that where you don't even notice it because they're flashing around. Like one scene, like 1 second it's punching Optimus, another second it like you see it's daytime very clearly, but it's actually nighttime in that scene at that time.
But the action still flows, and that's what you're focusing on.
And you're not even seeing it because your brain might even pick that up as like an explosion. You know what I mean? Like the sparks from the metal scraping or whatever. You know?
Yeah, because it's just so fast. So the acting was pretty good. I thought Shia LaBeouf had a good, good energy and humor.
I think he was good for it. I think he was good for that role. Exactly. I think his smart ass, his like the way he was about it, like, I kind of thought what did you say? What was one of his quotes at the end? His oh shit. I can't remember what yeah, something along the no sacrifice thing. But like the way he delivered it, it was like, and he had like eyes slightly watering, and like it was very well done. I believed him.
Yeah. He's good for certain roles. I've seen him in other things, and he's not too good. But yeah, it depends.
No, but him in like Holes and this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Holes. That's
like the
OG. So the music was it was like sometimes it was like sort of orchestral, but like sci-fi, like sci-fi orchestra sort of sound. Most of the time they did do occasional songs, but they were through the radio.
Yes, exactly.
So it was okay. And if it wasn't through the radio, I noticed there was no lyrics to the songs.
They didn't. So it's not interrupting you.
Yeah, which I thought that's a good way to do it. I don't I don't like just putting a song in there without it fitting.
Being a part of it.
Yeah. And then I had them pacing. It's quite a fast-paced, jam-packed action movie. Like,
yeah, very jam-packed.
Action, bang, bang, bang. Just, yeah.
Absolutely. No. On that, it did, I think they did a very good job of packing a lot in. You know what I mean? Like they obviously, I guarantee you, there was probably 50 odd scenes that they were still chopped out, no matter what. Like they couldn't release a 3.5 hour movie or whatever,
No.
So even what they left in, they did a pretty good job of making it completely interesting. And
I was never lost interest. Like you said, there's always something going on. There might be like a minute or two where it's a little bit slow, but apart from that, it's pretty quick.
I think those 2 minutes of slowness were for the girlfriends that were at the cinemas watching it with their partner.
Yeah, with the boys, yeah. Because there was a slow-mo, there was a scene at some point, it's like slow-mo and the rays are coming down and it turns like on the ground and the Kayla's on the ground as well after an explosion. It's all like
we get it. They're falling in love, but we're not falling in love, all right? We don't need that.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the end of my notes for that. I had a couple of interesting facts that I wrote down. So do you
I want to hear some of these interesting facts. What are they? Like, obviously I'm guessing you've got the budget in there as well.
Oh yeah, let's do that first and then I'll go to the facts. So the budget was 150 million.
150 million, okay. All right. And
I don't know, it's got box office, don't know if that's from then till now, but 700 million they made in the box office.
Oh, that's heaps. Far out.
There's a lot of Transformers fans. That's what happened there.
Far out. That's a lot. That's a solid.
That's like Marvel almost.
That's like 300%. Yeah, that's crazy. What the kind of profit they made on that.
So I'll do the facts and then we'll do our overall rating.
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. So I thought this was interesting. I guess it's true. It says, according to Megan Fox, she was attending a Linkin Park concert, and when the concert was over, the band met with her and requested if they could have a song in the film.
I don't want to shit on that because I just watched a video pretty recently.
It might not be true. It's what was
one of the the Fine Bros on YouTube.
No.
Anyway, they do some shit. They do like reacts, kids reacts, blah 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 reacts. Them guys.
Yeah.
And they had Linkin Park on, and they had Mike Shinoda. Reacting to the kids reacting to Linkin Park, and he said about that they got asked to put a song on there and that they got to choose what record. So I'm not sure how far we should believe into either of them because maybe one of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so what's another interesting thing?
So there's an interesting one here about the budget. So to keep the film realistic and under budget, the US Department of Defense provided their support towards the film. So I guess they donated helicopters and
for like scenes and
the vehicles,
stuff.
All the military vehicles and stuff were from the US defense force.
I wonder if that's why they had to keep it like a positive hoorah, fuck yeah, military movie.
America,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the American government like supplied them with the you know, just the chopper scenes and all the convoys and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So also now that's that bit. Now we've got so according to the animators at I think it's IOM Studios or whatever. That was not really important, but each and every transformation in the film is unique, even if carried out by the same robot. So even if Optimus transforms 3 times, they're unique every time.
That's probably why it costs so fucking much.
The reason they did that though is because depending where the transformer was when he transforms determines how he transforms. So if he's like on a hill or if he's going fast or slow or if they're in a fight or if they're not in a fight.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
All the different angles and stuff.
Just even like what kind of stride they're in, you know what I mean? Like they could be taking a big step and then transform, or they could be jumping up in the air. And then, absolutely. It should be individual. Yeah. That's interesting. That is an interesting little tidbit.
So I've got another couple about the effects. So there was so much detail and complexity. It took the animators 38 hours to fill one single frame. So
I can't even comprehend that. Oh my God.
23 frames a second, and each of those frames took 38 hours if there was a transformer in it.
And did that, I mean, you probably don't have this info, but how many workers did they have working on it? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It would have been thousands, surely.
Thousands? Yeah. Fuck.
The credits probably go for like 10, 15 minutes, so...
Yeah, I know, right? They're one of the longest fucking credits ever. It's, fuck. And I looked as well. I skipped to the end hoping there was like a secret Marvel little bit at the end, but there wasn't. Yeah.
No, they don't do that in Transformers.
I mean, it's good, but whatever.
So also here, so in the CGI models for the robots, if you took all the polygons from all the Transformers models they created and put them end to end, they'd reach the moon and back again. And you'd still have enough left over to build the Roman Colosseum twice, apparently.
Fucking hell.
So that's a lot of polygons. I guess it's not all hand done, but yeah. And then one more, my last one was the Transformers are composed out of a total of 60,000 pieces. Optimus Prime is composed of 10,000 pieces. Megatron 2,500.
What are the pieces like individual items that they then animate to move? Like head shit. Wow, that's so many.
It says at the end here.
So Optimus has 10,000 and fucking Megatron has 2.
And Ironhide with both his guns composed of 10,000 pieces each.
Oh, apparently they were important.
It must be like each individual thing they have to model. I don't know.
Yeah. Because maybe 10,000, like maybe he shot 1,000 bullets, and each one of those bullets has 30 pieces on them, and you know what I mean? Maybe.
But wow. I don't know if it's this one or the second Transformers, but like the amount of computing power to animate a scene, it's like they got like hundreds of computers and they take hours and hours to just spit out all this information. Like it's ridiculous.
No,
just
I
waiting
imagine.
for the computers to do their shit. And there was a thing I read somewhere that in the second one, if you used the top of the range computer that you could buy commercially, like that I could buy as a normal person, it would take thousands of years to render out the movie. Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
So I just like those little notes. I think they're
absolutely. That's cool little interesting facts there. So, all right, well, I'll start us off with the my closing thing. So I wrote a little thing, like just straight after watching it, I just wrote, and I agree with my rating, but is for a super CGI heavy movie done back in 2007, there's loads of Transformer action. It's got a pretty good storyline that you're always like intent. Everything's kind of a part of the story. Nothing feels out of place. Not much feels out of place. I mean, obviously there's a few things that I said that pulled me out of it. There's a couple of like scenes that, plot holes that I felt were pretty big, but they're all right. But overall, I would put this at a bloody 7 out of 10, I think, just for everything.
That's pretty good for you, yeah.
That I can't... Obviously, the few things that I've brought it down we mentioned earlier, but I don't want to dwell on the bad shit. I want to how good the CGI, like the battle scenes, the way that they made you, like the focus, like you said earlier, making it from a human's perspective almost always, like, you know, unless they're flying through the air, like from the Transformers perspective. But it was so bloody, no, I really felt like I'm glad I hadn't seen this movie in such a long time and then rewatched it. You know what I mean? It was bloody awesome.
Yeah. I have written down a rating, but I think I'm going to change it now.
Ooh.
I would go 8 out of 10.
Now, what did you change that from?
9 out of 10.
Yeah, okay.
I just love Transformers so much.
No,
I thought I'd take one off that bias. Take off the rose-tinted glasses.
No, but that's still fair. That's still bloody awesome. No, 8 out of 10 is still
I sort
sick.
of put it up. I put it up there with, for me, I put it with sort of Iron Man almost. Like real close.
Yep.
Because it's just one of my favorites.
It's so one thing like we said earlier, how there was a lot of jokes in it. They try to keep it lighthearted and funny. You know, it was a fun movie. Absolutely.
They really like setting up their jokes. Like it's a big thing they do. They like to reference something later on to make that funny. And I don't know. I like that.
No, I agree. I think that's what makes it makes a person become a fan of a movie because you know the inside jokes, you know the little things that make sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So 7 out of 10 and a 8 out of 10.
Yep. All right.
All right.
So now let's get into the Pendulum Immersion album review.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So,
do you know what year this was released in, Martin? I think I got it written down.
2009.
2009.
I believe I read that just before we started.
Sweet. Yep. Oh, okay. I got 2010 written down, mate. One of us is wrong.
So, I listened to this through my, it's the first thing I listened to when I got my new headphones.
Oh, that would have been cool.
So that was pretty cool. I've got a few. So, like straight away, the intro song, right? Mm-hmm. It's called Genesis, I believe.
Yeah, yes.
I clicked play, and for a couple seconds, I'm like, is that through my speakers or my headphones? I could not tell. And it turned out it was through my headphones. It wasn't through the speakers, but it was so weird.
It wasn't like us stuffing up, not turning the second subwoofer on.
The sound was like away from me and came towards me. It was like,
okay.
What the fuck? And I actually it freaked me out. I'm like, what's going on? It's so weird.
Yeah, the notes I got for that first one, it's just like how cool of a sounding intro. It's like it's giving you a taste of what's to come. You know what I mean? There's a couple sounds. It sounds spacey, and then it builds up and up and up. And yeah, I thought it was a
there's lots of things I noticed that I hadn't noticed previous. It was a good session actually. Good listen through.
Yeah. So what's the second song? We got Salt in the Wounds,
which is technically the first song. The Genesis bit's a bit of an intro, but I still liked it though. I thought it was cool and it sort of fitted.
Well, I thought it led into Salt in the Wounds very well.
Oh yeah. Go straight into it with this song.
Get straight into just some classic iconic bloody Pendulum D&B. Some drum and bass, mate. I think it's sick.
I noticed there is a sound they keep repeating in there somewhere. And it kept like freaking me. What? Kept making me look around the room and stuff. Like,
what is that sound
coming from? Like, yeah, is it the song or is it in real life?
I think there's a lot of in all of their songs. They've got little things like that, don't they? Where you're like, what was that sound? That's someone clicking a car seatbelt into place, but it's right next to me. What the fuck?
These songs, like all Pendulum songs, they're good to like give you energy, get you going. You know, like.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say
workout music or
workout. Exactly, that's what I picture because I got my home gym inside. If I use that's Pendulum is a ideal music for that, man. Or I also picture it for going on long drives. I think that's mainly because of us when we would be driving to and from like movies or going to Future Music Festival or whatever. Your mum would like be letting us crank that shit. It was awesome.
I had like the subwoofer and stuff in the car too.
Yeah, the fucking your kicker setup. Yeah, that's right.
In the van. That was cool.
Can you imagine, guys, listeners out there, fucking a sick ass van, right? Like it looks inconspicuous to the begin with. It's just a white van, right? And it's just got some bloke in a wheelchair, you know, the mum's driving and some fat cunt sitting in the passenger seat, me. And then the fucking, and can you imagine pulling up to the lights and seeing that, but hearing the bass fucking shaking the and all that? Oh, that'd be hilarious. I think that's great.
Yeah, it was funny, wasn't it? It was good fun.
Yeah. Got to travel in style, man, and to music we like.
I remember looking around trying to see if anyone was looking or
anyone was noticing. Yeah.
So yeah, in this song "Salt in the Wounds," there's a part somewhere where it fades out, and then it sort of goes to like white noise and fades back in,
and comes back. Yeah,
I thought that white noise effect was pretty cool. I really liked it.
They do that. They're so good at their like the chord progressions, like so you can kind of feel in the song where it's going next, and then where it like you said, where it clears everything away to like a main tone or a main sound, and then it just brings it back into hard drum and bass.
Yeah, I noticed throughout the album some songs are more drum and bass than others, so there's kind of a variety. Like it's mostly drum and bass, but yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that every song is drum and bass, but some is like drum and bass / electro. Some is like pretty heavy electro, like The Island Part 2 is like straight up electro. Yeah. Dubstep. Yeah.
So
but I think this song right now that the audience can't hear. It has like wub wubs in the background, which is essentially just what dubstep is. Just the but yeah. Okay, so now Watercolor, which is like, goddamn, one of their most iconic songs, hey?
That is the song, like, at the start, the birds chirping.
Yes.
That is what I think when I think pendulum.
This, and the rise, the 4-chord progression, the da-na-na-na-na, just continue. Oh, man. And I love that little trumpet in the side, you know, and it rears its head all like throughout the song. It's fucking awesome, man.
So yeah, I wrote down it's got great rhythm and beat. It's all perfectly timed. Like it's so
everything's crisp in this album.
So good. And the words, I like the words.
I love how this builds up, and it's like getting hectic, isn't it? Like right now, it's getting hectic, and then it just cuts to a clean vocals. Like I think that's so nice.
Yeah, the background fades out.
And then those vocals then in turn make that build, like as it continues on, it then makes that more powerful because it's like on top of each other. They're both laid together. Yeah,
I didn't actually put this in my top 3, but
me neither, but it gets special mentions, I think.
Yeah. What's the drop like? Let's see what that's like. They're all very similar songs. It's really hard to
to individualize them. Yeah. I can only pick Self First, Self Out.
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest.
a good one.
Pick me out of here.
Oh, this bit here, and then
because this is just straight up DMB. There's nothing else here. There's it's just fucking and then it goes. I like where it goes like breathe the fire, check your vision, blah 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 blah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, they're really good at building up energy, and then like
fucking oath they are.
The drop is like such a release. It's so good.
You got any other notes on this one?
Not for me, do you?
Nah, all right. So let's go on to Set Me On Fire. Now, I like this one. There's just before the drop, it keeps bringing it in, but there's bloody bongos going on in the background. I don't know if you, the bongos were so fucking like, I kept hearing them. Like, it's just something I could keep focusing on. It was weird. It kept reminding me also of, because there's like a Jamaican-ish voice in this. And it kept reminding me of Tarantula. It was like a throwback or something.
You got the right song?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, okay. But they must do it later on too, because in Encoder, there's bongos again too. I wrote down there. I didn't write down the bongos in this one.
I skip forward.
How much?
20 seconds. Keep going. Here.
Oh,
Can you not hear them?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
And then the Jamaican-ish voice where he's like, I don't even know what words he's saying. I don't think I can understand him.
No, but it's cool.
But it's cool, exactly. It's cool.
Well, drum and bass and like reggae voices. That's kind of like they're connected.
Well, I think it's only connected because they made Tarantula like the most iconic drum and bass song of like our generation. Like, I don't think anything.
Because that Jamaican sort of sound that became like dub, and then dubstep came after. Yeah. So that dub and that's kind of I think that's sort of where that all started. And then of course Pendulum took it and used it as well
and ran with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we got what do we got next? You got any other notes for that one?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't have any
so we got
notes for that.
Yeah, and then we got Crush, which starts off like a punk song. It's like it sounds like that song 2 by Blur kind of has a weird ring to it. Anyway, someone will get that. This
was like when I got to this point, I'm like, this is almost number 1, but then I got 3 more songs and that changed.
Yeah.
So but initially this was a top contender.
Oh, it's just so good.
Super energetic.
Yeah. Super like gets you pumped.
Yeah, such a good motivation song. And I wrote very drum and bass.
Very drum and bass, yeah. Very drum, yeah, funny as.
Like this is like when you look up drum and bass, this is like that beat. That's it.
Well, I think this and Salt in the Wound's very similar. I feel that same way about them.
Towards the end of the song though, it's goes to like an acoustic guitar bit.
Yeah, go to it. Put it on.
All right. Let me see if I can find it.
It'd be like the last minute.
It's just after this bit, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is it. And then he sings too.
I'm pretty sure we'd be allowed to let the audience hear these. Because like we're doing review and it's not like a video.
As long as we're talking at the bits. Yeah, we probably could.
But anyway, we'll look at that next time.
After the acoustic bit, there's something there. I just remember like when I was listening to it, like I felt shivers like down my spine, like at some point.
Oh, the fade out, yeah.
It's like, oh, so good.
And then we're on to Immunize. Which
are we?
Oh wait, that was
Under
Crush.
the Waves.
Sorry, no, we're Under the Waves. You're right, I skipped Under the Waves. Under the Waves. Because that's got Under the Waves, because that's got the where it's like the only way, the only way, the only way, and then it breaks down. Yeah. I don't have any notes on this one, but
when I got to this one, I thought this was like I was thinking of another song, but I thought this was it, and I really liked it. But this was a different one I was thinking of. I think it was 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I like the words in this one. It's good.
Wait. The only way, the only way. Or the only one, maybe it's singing. But yeah. Oh, like that. You know how it means they build up and then it just cut out to crisp fucking vocals.
Yeah, vocals.
They're so good at that. Yeah, I got no notes on that one, so I think we could like an alarm almost.
Yeah. There's something in the song here. There's some part somewhere, but it reminds me of like the old Sonic the Hedgehog games. Like, dump it right there. That reminds me of one of the levels in one of the Sonic games.
Imagine if maybe they use that sound. Imagine that.
How awesome would that be?
Yeah.
This one's a bit slower than the other songs. It's still pretty quick, but it's a bit slower.
Yeah, okay.
So then we move on to the island, is it? Or is this?
No.
Or I skipped one.
Don't we have
Immunize?
Yeah. First I skip one, then you skip one.
I had no notes on that. That's why.
Yeah, I've got no notes on Immunize either. But I do want to hear the intro just a second. Yeah, because it's the one where I felt panic, I'll be honest. Like they did a good job of like, it like sounds like a lot's going on. You know, like dun, 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 like your heart's beating. Yeah.
It's a weird like beat, like a progression too. It's weird. It's not standard.
And then it's got weird, that sound. Sounds like a fucking dial-up modem almost.
Yeah.
For the multiply.
All their songs are so good.
No, I know. None of them are bad. So just because I haven't got a note on it doesn't mean I don't like it.
Yeah, no, exactly. It just means we didn't think of anything.
Yeah.
Nothing stood out.
So now we're onto the island, or?
Yeah. The island part 1.
So how fucking nostalgic is this?
This is a good one. Yeah. Again, the words are so good. I know the words. Like I could sing this. It's so good. So there's a noise there. It almost sounds like clapping, but I think it sounds more like when you hit 2 marbles together, or
okay, like when you're Like when you're breaking a pool table? Yeah.
Yeah, like the pool balls hitting the balls together, or that's exactly the sound.
No, I do get what you mean. It does sound a bit more solid than a clap, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like rocks hitting. But yeah, it's kind of, I guess they've done some equalization and stuff to it. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what they used as the reference.
I wish they did a whole album documentary. How cool would that be?
Oh yeah.
No. You got any other notes for this one?
It's got I like the beat. The beat's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think because that's iconic, you know what I mean? It's
good beat to bump your head to.
And it's very housey. You know what I mean? This is one of their lesser drum and bass songs, isn't it?
So I usually, when we get to the second part, I usually don't listen to it. I usually skip it.
The second part?
I usually don't.
You skip the second part?
I didn't this time.
No, not this time. But I mean, like that's...
But I usually do.
That song, the second part, is the second song by them I heard. And it's the only reason why I stuck around to listen to any of their other songs, because I heard the second one. I'm like, I like this electro sound. This sounds cool. Because obviously I listened to 𝗧𝗿𝗍𝗍 because that was like, that just, everyone knew about that in my school. It was the fucking sickest thing. But I
thought it was right when I listened to it again. It's all right.
Yeah. No, you're all right. I mean, nowadays, like, I listen to this and I think of, like, this is the Island Part 2. I hear it and I hear why I'm into electro, why I like the sounds, because this is like the precursor to so many sounds that now I'm even tolerable of because of it's in this song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how weird it just sounds so crazy.
So about halfway it fades out, and I like the percussion. Percussion instruments and all the
clicks and the taps and
the
the sticks. Yeah, I like when it does like the opposite drop, and it goes, instead of like, it does like its normal drop, and then it goes backwards almost. It like does a voo 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 voo. Yeah, I really like that part in the song as well. So this is as I said, this is the second song that I listened to them, which led me to listen to their discography. So I went through and listened to all of their shit.
Oh, yeah.
But when I was listening to it, I'm like, man, this has a fucking Knife Party feel to it, doesn't it? But then I was like, no, actually, wait. No, Knife Party has a pendulum feel to them. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be the other way around. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what came first, Knife Party or Pendulum?
Pendulum.
Pendulum, and then they started doing Knife Party. Yeah.
Then they decided to do, I think because they wanted to do more shit like this, but Pendulum was so drum and bass that they're like, you know what, let's do a Knife Party. They could do it. Let's do our own shit, something separate.
Yeah. They don't really do. Pendulum doesn't seem to do. They're not really a thing anymore, are they?
No.
No, they're not. They focus more on the Knife Party now. At least the main guys.
They may not. I don't even think they're still focused on it. Are they?
Yeah, no, there's still stuff coming out. Yeah, slowly. They don't do much, but there's still stuff coming out. The other day there was a Knife Party song come out.
Yeah, I really lost it after that. You know, I didn't really stay interested in Knife Party too much.
No. So then we've got the next song, *𝗂𝗵𝗀𝗄𝗃.
Ugh,
so how do you say it?
*𝗂𝗵𝗀𝗃𝗃, I don't know, something like that. We know what we're on about.
I love this song.
This is my second favorite. This is like, no.
Is that what you had on your list?
No, sorry, it's my third. I gave it my third. I just had a look.
I had it second.
Nah, I won't say more order. Nah, but yeah, it was in there.
No.
When I heard this, right, as soon as it started, my first thought was, oh shit, top 3 is going to be really fucking hard. Because I'm looking ahead and I'm like, then I see the Vulture, then I see Witchcraft, then I see Self vs. Self. And I'm like, fuck, man, I've already picked my top 3 up until this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had. I felt too. And it totally messed up my top 3.
And then in the drop, I fucking love where it's like, throw it away because I've got the patience, like the way it works in there. Yeah. It's so fucking sick, man. Now. Why do we like this? Why is this erratic sound? Why do we enjoy it? I don't get it.
Because it's ordered chaos.
Ordered chaos, but it's like, it's because we're familiar to them is why we like it. No, it's the only you can't like when you first heard it, you know, the first time you're like, what the fuck is that? And then the second time you get a bit more familiar to it. And then the third time you listen to it, you kind of know the lyrics. So now you're like a part of it now. The song, I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's so weird.
I just remember liking it straight away. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to remember what I felt when I first listened to it. That's like, I don't even know, but
yeah,
I feel like I liked it straight away. I feel like I liked it straight away.
I definitely like 𝗧𝗿𝗺𝗀𝗃 straight away, but that was because that's like more metally. That was up my alley at the time. That was exactly what I was listening to.
And then, like you say, the more I listened to it, the more it became familiar, and that's how it happens, I guess.
Yeah, it must do. And then Radio, the drop's about to go, and it's I love this song, man. This song's so fucking good. Throw it away. Oh yeah.
And it like slows down. It goes like no. It's so cool. It's like a slow drop. It's like they build up really quick. It builds up real quick to the drop, and then the drop's slower.
It's like the opposite of what you'd expect, isn't it?
But it works. It works so well, and it's so powerful. I remember as soon as that first drop came in, I just felt shivers again just down my spine. Like, oh, it's so good. Just felt that. And
so now we're on to the 𝗧𝗿𝗀𝗃. I really like this song. I mean, I like all of them, but I like this one. This was one of the runner-ups as well.
I specifically
party.
Specifically like the grungy electric guitar sound.
Yeah, okay. Like the distorted guitar.
Yeah, it's kind of like a grungy sort of sound. I don't know. I liked it. It stood out to me. It's not there yet, but it does come in.
No. Oh, it's so good, man. The power, the build up, and it is getting me pumped. I'm feeling it right now, you know?
The head bobbing, it's going. The head nods.
Surrender the 𝗧𝗿𝗃. I'm feeling the panic.
I think you like this song more than I do, this particular song.
I like it. I really do. We're taking the power.
Have I done the guitar yet?
I don't know. But see, I could see this sound reminding you of Sonic. I don't know why.
True, it's also got that. Yeah.
That part, isn't that what you're talking about? Doom, 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 down, down, down. I don't know why I thought that's what you're talking about.
There's guitar there.
Is there a way you could skip forward 30 seconds? Sorry. Here we go. Because I think the second drop's different.
And that's what they do too. They don't just repeat the same drop.
Yeah, they keep it interesting. See, again, they cut away and they've got simple sounds, and then they're slowly building it back up to like get it. It is getting you pumped by like taking everything away. You're like, oh, shit's about to happen. Oh, you know?
Shit's about to go down.
Yeah. We're taking the power. Maybe not. It is a similar drop, but the build up was at least different.
I think maybe I'm not noticing the guitar bit is because we're listening to this a bit quieter than I was.
Yeah, you know, you're right.
I think that might be right.
Well, anyway, let's go on to the next song. Yeah.
So all I remember, like my first note. So
Let
me just go to it. For some reason, it made me jump. I didn't expect it to that sudden. Like it's kind of there's like a split second of nothing.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then it goes into it. No, okay. Maybe because you were listening to it so loud and in your earphones. You know what I mean?
It was maybe like, you were in the sound. It's like the sound sort of came from nowhere, and so it made me jump, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, this was.
Oh, that's right. I'm listening to Pendulum.
This is such a good song, man. This one, it's so
very iconic.
It's so powerful. You know, this feels more personal to like. I feel like most people could like this song, if you don't like drum and bass.
This is #1 for me.
Okay. See, we're you know what? Our top three are the same songs. They're just different. Just different order.
Level, just bumped. Yeah. So good.
Any other notes on this one for you, Stephen?
Yeah, I do. So again, the vocals are pretty good.
Yeah.
The words are cool. I wrote down like I forgot how good Pendulum is.
Yeah.
At this point, and that was so good. And this is where they sort of fade out in the ocean. You can hear the ocean, like waves crashing and stuff. I like that. That's all my notes for that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that my only notes is how this is probably the most memorable other than Watercolor. You know what I mean? Like how much it stands out in my mind as Pendulum. Yeah. Alrighty.
Next one?
Yeah. So next we're going on to 𝗧𝗿𝗺𝗃 featuring In Flames, which is
heavy.
Oh, it's In Flames are metal, like they're just straight up melodic metal.
And the guitars here are so aggressive. that aggressive electric guitar. I love it. So
yeah. It's so punchy as well. Like you can feel every beat. It's so fucking nice.
And it's also different in the left ear to the right ear. Kind of like
they've got two different tracks.
Yeah, but they're actually quite more different than I normally notice.
Okay.
And then in this song in particular, they do a lot of they fade from left ear to right ear.
Yeah, yep. A lot of stereos.
Because there's some points in it where the song is mostly in the left ear, and then it like comes into both. It's a weird fade they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this song right here is the reason why I even listened to a second song by Pendulum. Like it's just this was so out of the box for me because I couldn't believe it when my friend showed me this song. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like I liked metal already. Like I was already into like Metallica and like that shit. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Like somehow they've made that enjoyable in an electronic form. And that was like literally the doors opening to electronic music for me. Before that, there was nothing. Now there is, you know, it was weird. It was that is the one song that I can say started my love for all trap music, all electro, all the dubstep, all fucking Skrillex. Everything came from this song. I can pinpoint it. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I noticed. I don't really notice that much this time, but when I listened to it yesterday, Friday, sorry, it seemed like the guitars were like slightly more left of the mix.
Okay.
So that I noticed it more in my left ear than. I guess because there's separate tracks for each ear from left to right.
I'm almost certain they've done that. But did you notice that the drums, because there's a drum kit, but there's also Pendulum's drum kit. Did you notice much difference like between the left and the right for different sounds of the drums? Like I felt like I could
didn't stand out to me, but yeah.
I felt I could notice that the drum kit, like their band playing the drums, I could almost hear that in the background kind of thing. Like it wasn't in the forefront, but I felt like they put that sounds in as well as the digital doofs and like, you know, bass drums. Yeah. But the way they married it up and worked it, they did such an excellent job, man. And now obviously I'm a huge fan, so I'm always going to say positive, but it's the
one thing I did notice is that even if like, because they don't always use a real drum kit, do they, with all the beats? Sometimes a digital.
No, I think with the Pendulum, they have the electronic drum kit.
But both of it did sound like very similar to like a real drum kit most of the time, to a real drum most of the time. Are you talking
in this song specifically or all of the album?
All the songs.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The whole album, it did always sound like...
They obviously use the real drum sample, you know, like to...
Yeah.
So when you hit that pad, it makes this nice sound. Yeah.
And I like that they give you the perception of there's real instruments being used. Yeah, I like that.
No, definitely. Alrighty, so shall we... Oh, sorry.
I just remembered at one point, again, I like had shivers again down my spine at some point.
I had a few moments of that where like things disappear and they bring it back and
it's like, wow.
Such a powerful song and such a hectic song, you know? Like like punchy, you know, there's a lot it brings you up.
Definitely don't want to listen to it, you got a headache.
Yeah. All right. So now on to The Fountain, yeah?
Yeah.
Now I remember not liking this song too much. Not liking it, but like, you know, it wasn't even in my thoughts. I didn't really care about it. But now I like it. So, I quite like it.
I'll just read out my first note, right? So when I was listening to it, I didn't have my player scrolled down all the way. So I didn't see the last song there. And I was thinking, this is a nice slow song to finish off the album.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got, hang on, scratch that. There's one more.
Yeah, yep. Really?
I was thinking, well, this would be a good one to end it.
It could have been,
the next one's good. The next one is
good. Yeah, it is. I was about to say it is a good outro song. But
this is a nice change of pace. It's a bit slower. We've got the piano.
As much as it is straight up like hard drum and bass in the background, it is kind of softer. It is a softer song, you know. It's not as... It just feels more floaty in a weird way.
Yeah, and the piano, I like the piano. It's cool. I'm starting to like piano a lot lately. Not just in Pendulum, but in general.
Yeah. Is there... Is there like a? There's no even possible. Yeah, okay. So you just like watching like bands that have a heavy piano influence or something in there. Is that what you're talking about?
No, just the sound of it.
Or do you like listening to fucking Mozart on piano?
No,
you know,
I've been wanting to, but no.
Yeah,
no, just like I don't know, like piano. I don't know, like
no, I get it. It's interesting.
And,
well, I've got right now. I mean, because I'm looking at my desk, I got my guitars, but then I've also got my keyboard that's always ready to go because every now and then I just want to, play a little tune or whatever. It's always there.
Oh, like a music piano, like keyboard.
Yeah, my keyboard. Yeah. Obviously, not my my QWERTY keyboard. Alrighty, so
and then the last one.
Yeah, Encoder, the 15th song, 15th track.
The actual last song, for real.
Yes, this song.
I wish I had the deluxe version, but yeah.
I like how it's got the it sounds almost like a what do you call it? I don't know, ESPN Sports or something, it's got like that sound that do.
Like the start of a news show.
Yeah.
Remember, was it Pendulum or Knife Party?
Pendulum
remix
of the ABC News theme. Yep.
That was cool. I like the feel though. This is kind of it reminds me of the jungle.
And how quick does it change to uplifting? Right
like
there.
Like a bouncy sort of beat,
And it's got that bongos.
It reminded me of like the Disney Tarzan animated movie.
Oh, okay. Imagine this song with fucking what's his name singing over it. How have I forgotten his name? God damn it! It's because I'm listening to another song.
This bit here,
yeah, so uplifting.
It's like it fills you with hope. It's like they're trying to give you hope that there might be more after this album.
Believe me, I'm on your side.
This is a good one to finish it off.
Now, do you have many notes for this?
Yeah, I've got a couple more. So it goes to
because I just want to listen to the outro of the song as well.
Oh yeah, so it goes to like an acoustic bit sometime in the song. I really like when songs do that, go from heavy to like acoustic, slow down. I felt though, not so much at this bit, but when it gets noisier, there's quite a lot of distortion or compression on the track. And I thought maybe it was just my copy, but I went and listened to other copies and it was like, like too much. Like, you know how when your sound's like a really low bit rate?
Yeah.
And it gets all like pixelated sound?
Yeah, but sound. Yeah, okay.
I had some of that in some of the beats.
Okay. Maybe they didn't use a good enough quality sample or something.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. But definitely, I tried numerous copies. I went to YouTube. I went to other streaming sites and stuff, and they all had it. Because I have a remastered version, which they redid. And I thought maybe it was just the way they remastered it. But no.
Is that a digital copy? Do you have like, is that something you could put on the hard drive that I could get off of you?
Yeah.
Could you do that for me, please?
Yeah, I can do that. All my music, I don't leave on CD. I take it off the CD and put it on the computer.
No, I just mean like if you've got the digitally remastered, man, I guarantee you it shits all over the copy I've got, and that'd be nice. I'll listen to that again.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll legally pay for it and acquire it that way to the FBI agent that's listening. Anyway. How uplifting. This right now, this part of it, how it's got that sound. I love that. I love it so much.
I wrote down that like it gives you hope. It's that kind of feel. It's that kind of...
Yeah, for sure.
And then that halfway, it's like now it's changed. I like that. And then it goes like ocean, like whale sounds. It sounds like a whale almost. And like lightning and the waves crashing.
Yeah, the waves crashing. That's what I want to hear. I need that drowning feeling, that feeling of like...
Yeah, and then
it's not drowning feeling because it's a hopeful song, but you know what I mean? You sound like you're at the beach. There's water crashing down. There's like,
And then it goes like someone in the water
acoustic part.
Around.
Oh, I can tell you right now, I'm listening to this song next time I do MDMA. I can tell you. Just for that outro.
Still like 20 seconds.
Yeah, here comes the water. And you go underwater like, woo, and like how it gets all like echoey in that underwater way.
Just turn it up.
Yeah, fucking startled me, man. Yeah, all right.
It sounds like real water. That's a high quality sample. Oh, that's so fucking freaky.
That's so fucking crazy, man. That like it really does sound like someone's choking as well. Like,
and then it just goes.
and then yeah, exactly that whip. It's like a whoop, and
Oops.
oh,
Hang on.
oops.
Spotify
Alright,
goes to the bloody next song straight away.
So I'll just give one of my overall notes here. Just one of I've got a few, but one of them is how this is probably the only negative I have to say about it. Or like the album all up is it just feels a bit repetitive now, and I think that just comes of age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just
Well,
this had its time.
Also, the fact the whole album, all the songs are very similar style, but very. So when you get to the end of the album, you just listen to the same
You
song
listen to
over and
almost
over again,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly. Yeah.
Or one really long song.
But yeah. And obviously, I think I could agree with you. I think you said last episode or maybe the one before it, where the reason why we like this so much is because you can actually fucking feel the music. You know what I mean? The bass, the drum. It's such even with your earphones, it doesn't have to be your sound system, but like the bass that you feel from it is so powerful. And I think that's what adds to the experience. You're really into it because not only are you hearing some lyrics that you like, you're feeling the doofs, and you can almost feel it in your fucking chest. Like it's almost like you're chanting, you know what I mean? Yeah,
this is what started me onto the getting one subwoofer and two subwoofers and bigger and better subwoofers. That was my journey. It was started from this.
Yeah,
the bass, want to feel it. You want that thud in your chest, like you're at a concert.
What else? What other notes you got on this? Overall notes.
The intro was not needed, but pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. Yeah, no, you're right. I liked it as far as an intro goes, though. Like I wouldn't take it out, but I also
I wouldn't
put
take
it
out. Yeah, no, that's right. It's definitely. I felt listening to it. This kind of music is definitely more intended for headphones, and it's not so intended for speakers. I don't feel.
Do you think it's because it's like for the clarity, like being able to hear all the little sounds, everything?
Yeah. And obviously, a good pair of headphones makes it even better. But yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it on my speakers since Friday, but I might do that after. Just play a couple songs.
Well, I had it playing this morning when I was out in the kitchen. Like I had my speakers playing it quite loud. But I think I could agree with you. Like, listening to it at work, I felt like it was way better because I had my earphones in, and it's like, it's personal. It's so you're right. It's personal. It's closer to you. It physically, it literally is, and there's less distraction, so you're not hearing the birds chirp, except for the ones that are in the song.
And you've got artists, right? Some artists mix with headphones, and some mix with speakers, like monitor speakers. Studio monitors or whatever. So, and I think this was probably mixed with headphones for sure.
Probably why, it sounds so good and crisp for
because this kind of music, like
compared.
this DJ kind of style, like this is almost sort of stuff you play at like a nightclub with the DJ disc set up with all the buttons and stuff.
Which is surprising because the only reason to make this type of music is to play it live at a concert.
Yeah, which is why it's definitely mixed on headphones.
But no, see, that to me is wrong because you would be mixing it for the audience to hear it live through speakers.
Okay, I guess what I'm saying is the guys on stage, right, have headphones, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
No. So that's how.
But how selfish are you to make it for yourself and not the audience?
True. They should have.
That doesn't make sense.
They should do what guitarists and singers do and have a speaker pointing at them. Let's do that instead of.
I've never even considered. No, I understand. Like, because clarity, that does make sense. You want the sound as close to your ears, so there's less like interfering with the noises. But no, because you would think because this is live music. That's what it's made for.
Yeah.
That like I mean, other than us listening to it and appreciating it now, but the only reason why they made this song is so that they could tour it and make money off of their artwork. And I find that okay. Anyway, sorry to go on that tangent now. I found that strange. But it does make sense. Why is it so much better for us listening to it if that's how they intended to listen to, you know?
So my last note is the drops are always perfect. The build up, the building emotion, and then the release of the emotion. It's so well done. I think you worded it perfectly there. The building up emotion and then the release of it. You know, it's
it's the peaks and valleys. It is. You're absolutely right.
Because like
I think
I couldn't tell you what emotion it made me feel, but like everything, yeah, it's good. It's like everything just builds up and then it releases, and it's like, wow, that's so good. But I couldn't pick out anything specific. Like yeah, it was like a mixture of emotions. It's good.
No, I think because obviously, I mean, the last song gives you hope, and like there's different ones you could lay onto a specific song, but you're right, it is just powerful. And I think that's what I mean by powerful is like, you can mean a lot of things. Like I could mean there's powerful bass, as in you feel the bass a lot.
Yeah, like it's heavy.
But when a song is powerful, like if I'm going like, oh, it's powerful, it means it's like it plays on your emotions, whatever your emotions are.
It's evoking something.
Evoking, exactly. So my last note here is pretty much just a collection of why I love it. So the fucking chord progressions, the drops, the mixings, the way that it doesn't sound too muddled up, even though they used such a variety of sounds. I honestly, I don't know how to rate this album out of 10 other than it is a 10 for what it is.
Yeah, I think for sure, 10 out of 10.
But like, I mean, for nowadays listening,
9 or
what would you
9,
rate?
10.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards like an 8 for nowadays.
It's one of the ones that really set my music future. So
no, dude, look, that's why
I think a 10's probably too much.
If I went back to the 3 years where this was like my favorite band, like 10 out of 10. But yeah, I think nowadays, for me, it's an 8.
I would go 8.5. I think.
Okay.
Maybe 9.
All right.
8.5 to 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
What's your top 3 just before we wrap up?
All right. So my first one, top 1, is Self vs. Self. What's your top one?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Okay. What do you know why you picked that one? Is there just for the top one? Why do you reckon that stood out?
I don't know. It's like one of the songs.
It's one of those
it's one of the songs I think of when I think of Pendulum. It's that name. Maybe not so much the song, but the name stands out so much to me.
Okay. Yeah, I could get that. Yeah.
And I like it. It's good.
I know for me, for Self vs. Self, it's simply because I listen to it easily 10 times more than any of the other songs. There is literally no contest for top 1 for me. It was the rest that was so difficult to pick. It was so hard to go, well, why do I want Witchcraft on my second one, not Watercolor or whatever? It was so hard.
So number 2 for me was, I chose 𝗂𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃 as number 2.
Yep, and I chose Witchcraft.
Yeah, 𝗂𝗵𝗃𝗃 is like one of, and I really, really like the words. They really stand out to me. That's probably why I put that there.
Yeah, that's the one with the drop with the throw it away because I got the patience. Yeah, I love that bit. I can't pinpoint why I picked Witchcraft as number 2, except for listening to it. It's just the one that I don't know. I loved every moment of it as much as I love Watercolors so much, and that's iconic. But Witchcraft just it stands out so much that I almost could sing it word for word, but the sounds, like I could sound it out, sound for sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my number 3. Do your number 3.
Okay. Yeah. No, my number 3 is 𝗂𝗵𝗃𝗃, like your number 2.
Yeah. My number 3 is Self vs. Self.
Oh, boom, bam.
So we've got that exactly right, like you said before. The same top 3, just different orders.
Just different order. Yeah. No, look, that wouldn't even. Any of those songs could have been swapped out for a couple of the other songs in that album. They're all fucking excellent.
Now, my runner-up to, like, I could say 4th place, it was what I was tossing up to go in 3rd place, was Crush.
Okay. Yeah,
it's very close to getting in there. I didn't know what to do with Crush, so I just left it.
No, fair.
So that's what we think. So
that's it, yeah.
That's what we think of that.
Bloody Pendulum, guys. I mean, I reckon I can't thank this band enough for opening my eyes to electronic music. I reckon and it's crazy to think that when this came out, so like this album specifically, 2000 and like you said 9, mine says 10. I'm not sure. One of those.
Close enough.
The fact that it came out then, I think is ideal for me to have heard it because I was in school. I was listening to my MP3 play. You know, it came out the right time for us. It's so
and
synchronistic.
I guess that's because you introduced it to me, so that was probably all around that time. So it was, just seemed to be it was meant to be.
And that's how that must be how bands get popular, isn't it? Like a friend introduced me, I introduced it to a friend, and then a friend. You know what I mean? It's just word of mouth, man. It's just word of mouth. Alrighty, well that sounds good. What do you think? Wrap it up there.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Good.
Good talking to you, Stephen.
So I gave it an 8.5 out of 10, and
I gave it an 8.
So there we go. All right, thanks guys for listening. We'll be back next week.
Alrighty, see you guys.
Yeah, see ya.